Are you ready for new learning? Do you know that now we can perform the union and union all SQL operator functionality now in Excel? So today's video is all about how to combine two or more tables into one dedicated table by using the Python concat. Also, we will write one real Python code in PyCharm to consolidate multiple Excel files data in one dedicated Excel spreadsheet or table. Are you excited how to? Let's begin.
Yes, so just to make it simple and easy to understand, I have created this fictitious data for three employees, James Peter, Peter James, and Kevin James. And this data is quite self-explanatory. We have the date, we have the employee name, employee ID, what product has been sold by which employee on what particular date, and number of units sold, and the amount that has been generated as a result, right? In the similar structure, these six columns are being replicated for Peter James and Kevin James as well. Now here the problem statement is that we need to write the Python code in Excel to combine these three tables in one dedicated table which will hold the sales data for all employees in one unified source. On the top of it, we will write Python code in PyCharm to consolidate multiple Excel files stored in a folder by using the Python, right? So let me give you the gist of it. So these are 10 to 15 plus files which we would like to club consolidate in one Excel spreadsheet, right? So we will cover this in the later phase of this video. Now coming back onto the first problem. So the first thing is first that we need to define the data frame. So what we can do is equal to py and then just pass the range of the table 1 and store this information back in df1 and hit the control enter. See, we have the data frame. We can convert into the Excel value. This is nothing but the 100% ditto copy of your James Peter sales record data, but now it's stored in the data frame 1, right? We need the data frame in order to interact with the pandas, okay? In the similar way, we will create the another data frame for a second employee as well, Peter James. So just passing here the table range and then storing this information back in df2 and hit the control enter, just converting this into the Excel value. Perfect. Same exercise for the third employee is equal to py and then pass the table range and store this information back in df3. Hit the control enter. Now we have three data frames, right? So we have converted this into the Excel value. Perfect. Now we can start using the Python in order to consolidate this one. Okay, so is equal to py and then now we have three data frames, df1 for James Peter first employee, df2 Peter James second employee, df3 Kevin James third employee. Now pd.concat, so concat is the short term, however is concatenate, right? So we are going to use the pd.concat to club three or two or three or whatever the table, more than one table in one dedicated table by using the pd.concat, right? Open the brackets, pass here the data frame 1, data frame 2, data frame 3 and close this one and hit the control enter, and in no time data is with you. See, we got the data frame. Let's convert it into the Excel value. See, we got the data 100%. All these three tables are merged now. You might be thinking, what are these? Zero again, zero again, zero, right? So guys, these are nothing but this is the indexing numbers. These are the indexing number of the data frames, right? So if you would like to get rid of this data, this indexing number, you just need to write here ignore index is equal to true, and this should resolve your problem. See, now we do not have any indexing position here, right? So as we have discussed that union all, it gives you the data and it do not remove the duplicate records. But now intentionally I have used one particular row for each employee. So the last one, yellow background, James Peter, this row is duplicate. For Peter James, last row, 20th row is duplicate. For Kevin James, 24th row is duplicate. So in totality, there are 63 records, including James Peter, Peter James, and Kevin James. So if we remove the duplicates, then ideally we should get 60, right? So you can see as a union all result, we are getting 63, right? 63 is the count that we are getting for the rows. Now, how to make it work like a union? You have to make some tweaks here. It's very simple. Dot drop. See, the moment I have written dr, it's using the IntelliSense, so it's giving me the help as well. What you would like to use: drop, drop na, drop duplicates, drop level. So in this scenario, I'm going to use the drop duplicates and then closing it one, and using the control plus enter is something which is mandatory to commit the Python code. So just click on this one, and with no time, this will give you the result. See, now this should be 60. See, so now we are getting the result in the form of the union by removing the duplicate rows. Now, for example, let's say again you would like to get rid of this thing, right? The indexing positioning. So what you can do, you can reset your index, and your drop should be is equal to true. Perfect. Right. Let's talk about another example. So for example, I'm saving this information in df4. Now I would like to see this table, the consolidated table, to be sorted on the basis of my amount, but in the descending order, right? So we can achieve that thing as well within the same code here. What I need to do, I just need to use here the sort, and see, I'm getting the help. What I would like to use here, sort values. For sort values, I need to pass here the column name. So column name is my amount, and then in what format you would like to do your sort value. So my ascending is equal to false, right? So I do not want my ascending to be true, and then press it here and control enter. So the largest number is at the top, and then the second largest, then the third largest, and in the end you see the minimum value of the table. So that's the beauty, guys. That's the beauty of the Python in Excel, and that's the beauty of the pandas in Python, right? Now, so it's not limited to that. You can just merge or combine the data row by row only. You can do it column by column as well, right? So let me try to explain it with the example. Is equal to py. Then we are just performing a pd dot concat, and then df1, df2, df3, and then index. Sorry, it's ignore index is equal to true, and then I'm using here specifically x is equal to 1, right? So x is equal to 0, row by row, x is equal to 1, column by column your data will append. Okay, so x is equal to 1. Now you will see that your results will come column by column. Okay, so I'm just hitting here the control and enter. So we get the data frame, converting it into the Excel values. See, so till here we have the first table information, right? Now from here we have the second table information till this part, right? My bad. Okay, and from this onwards till here we have the third table information, right? So it's not limited that we can only append the data row by row only, right? But you can do it in this way as well. That's totally depend on the requirements. So that's only from the problem statement number 1. Now let's move to the problem statement 2, and we will start writing up the code in the PyCharm. So import pandas as pd, import globe. So guys, we do not have to install globe differently, because this comes by default with the Python installation. So globe is a function or module which helps Python in locating the files that meets the specific pattern. So in our project we will use this globe to go into the path that is the Consolidate folder saved in the desktop, and then choose those files only which has the extension .xlx. Okay, so I'm going to pass here the path. So your path is the consolidate one where all the files are residing. So I'm just copying here the path, and then going back here and then adding r in front of it, right? So r is a string literal, so we would like Python to understand that these are the actual backslashes used, not a part of the escape code. Okay, I'm creating one variable here with the name as the folder. With this folder we are going to use here the dot glob, and then passing here the path, and we are adding one more thing here, that is wildcard, right? So whatever the file name, we are not interested in it, but if that file is ending with the .xlx extension, please save it, right? Please use it in our code. Now another one is I'm just defining here one list, empty list, which we'll use to append the data. Okay, now for files in folder, right, what we are going to do with those files in folder one by one. So excel list dot append, and we will use here the pandas. So pd dot read underscore excel, read underscore what, we would like to read the first file, then second file, and whatever the number of the files that is available in the folder ending with .xlx. Okay, so we'll use here the files, and that's it. Now the next thing, if the excel list has been appended, we would like to store it somewhere, right? So I'm creating one data frame here, and within this data frame I'm using again the same thing, pd.concat, the same we have just used in the excel spreadsheet, right? So pd.concat, now what it will concat, this excel list, and then we would like to ignore the index, right? We are not interested in the index positioning of the data. So with that we have done, right? So I'm just passing this, whatever the information stored in the df, and passing this and saving it in the spreadsheet now. So from this data frame to excel file, and let's say I'm naming my excel file, it's the consolidated final whatever it is, and then it's ending with xlx, and then we are using here the index is equal to false. Let me qc the code. Import pandas as pd, import clock, path is okay, folder, and this 1 2 3 4 5 6. So guys, within 6 lines of the code, I think that's enough, and that should suffice the need. Let's run it and see whether we are getting the result or not. See, process finished with the exit code 0, and the file name which we have used is the consolidated final. So let's open this file. It's saved here. Perfect. See, you have all the information for the employee name A to L, right? See, you have A employee name, B, E, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? And total 240 set of records, right? So guys, I just would like to say one thing, that I'm targeting for 1k subscribers by end of this year, November, right? I know it's not a big number, but for me this matters a lot. So if you found my videos and channel content useful and informative, please, this is my humble request, do not close this video without pressing the like and subscribe button. With that, I take a pause, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye, take care.